Hey guys, Sandy here, and I am back for my video a day series here on YouTube in July. And I'm still working on some Vegas pictures. Let me pull out the photos I'm going to use. I cut this one into a 4x4 because there was this big, empty, like yellowy down here. And I'm scrapbooking this photo in particular because this is how they spelled Chris for our pizza, and that's totally not how he spells Chris. And then this is a picture of my son with said pizza, and he's super happy about it. So I'm going to use these two photos. I pulled out a couple things that I wanted to use. One's just a sheet of black cardstock. Then I have this Simple Stories snap. It's gray. I was thinking about the chevron, but I think I'm actually going to use the polka dot, even though I have pulled this scrap. It's some Echo Park paper from my scrap bin. I've also pulled a couple Simple Stories snap cards. I think it's like the Hey Girl collection. I'm going to use this yellow toned wood grain, this floral, this little dotted square, this little hashtag love. I have this great glitter tape. Evilicious puffy stickers, and then some Freckled Fawn puffy stickers. Got some snap stickers as well. I pulled out these Amy Tangerine die cuts. Snap die cuts. These label stickers. These chipboard mini word and phrase stickers. A piece of a doily. Some enamel dots that are left from a pack, and hopefully I can get some of those used up. This Jelly Bean Soup letter sticker, and I picked it because it's similar enough to this acrylic happy word. And I've also pulled out these little puffy banners. I have no idea where they came from, but let's see what I can get done. So I started off by trimming about 1/2 inch off of each edge of this gray polka dotted paper, and then I'm just going to ink the edges. And I tested out just to make sure I didn't want it to be the chevron paper, but I think I did that off camera. I wasn't happy with it, so I went with the polka dot. And the reason why I went with the polka dot was I thought that that acrylic word would have been easier to read on the polka dot than it was on the chevron. However, I don't even end up using the acrylic word. I do, however, end up using the letter stickers that reminded me of the acrylic word. So, go figure. So I decide to mat the photo and that golden wood grain box over there, and that's going to be my primary journaling spot. And I put that polka dot paper across the other polka dot paper, and I had just trimmed off an ever so slight amount so the edges nestled between that black border and the gray paper. And I've seen this design before, where you have the two smaller photos and the one larger one. I've used this design before, most recently in my Disney album. It's one I like to do when I find I have to trim a photo down because of too much just emptiness in the photo. And I don't want to like write the title on it or journal over it or cover it up with embellishment. Alright, so I'm going to use these little 2x2 blocks. One is going to stay as complete, and that's going to be the hashtag love. And that is because my family loves pizza, like loves it. And pizza is not my first choice, except when my husband makes his own sauce for it, then I will eat it up. But in case you couldn't tell, I am a meat person. I enjoy meat. That's where Steak Goddess comes from. Anyway, so I'm just putting these little squares out so that they're tucking out just a little bit, and you're just getting that little peak of color and that little peak of floral. And that's where I decide I don't like the way the word looks on the paper at all, so I push it off to the side. I decide that my doily is going to go on the bottom. I was originally thinking when I pulled out that little scrap that was just kind of hanging out on my desk that it would be on the top. I don't know why, but when I think doily, I automatically think top. If I'm doing a horizontal design like this, I think doily on the top automatically. So there you go. I changed it up a little bit. Go me. So now I'm just trying to pick a few of these Amy Tangerine die cuts, and I really want this acrylic floral to work because I wasn't happy with the other acrylic, but I just don't get it. I just don't get it to work the way I want it to, and I think it's because I love acrylic shapes. I love the pieces, but I really like them on solid cardstock or something that has such a subtle pattern that it reads as a solid. And this gray dot is it's a subtle pattern, but it's not reading as a solid for me. So I take off that journaling box. I had cut apart that blue journaling box for another layout recently, and I decided I'm going to go ahead and use it. And I figure I've already got dots on dots, so I might as well put on a few more dots. I find this little chevron cloud, and I was kind of bummed I didn't have the chevron on this originally with the gray, so I think, you know what, I'm going to get my chevron. So I pop it up on some pop dots just to give it some dimension, because I've already thought about using one of my favorite techniques to do, which is clear embossing on die cuts, and I've already nixed that idea. I'm like, nope, I don't want to do it. I don't want to walk over and dig out that stuff. I'm on a roll with layouts today. I'm just, I've created a couple of them, and I'm just happy with what I'm doing, so I'm just going to decide to pop dot a few things. So I popped up these speech bubbles as well, and layered it over top of the doily. There we go. And they're really cute, and I like them. I really like simple stories. Their colors across their lines coordinate pretty well. So you can mix and match easily, and that works with me. Most of the time, most of this stuff is from one collection, and I think it's Hey Girl. But I didn't buy the collection all at once. I got a snap pack of it in the most recent Simple Stories warehouse sale, and I had the sticker sheets for a long time that I've barely even used them. And I'm not using it on a girl page. As a matter of fact, a girl isn't even on this page. So, go figure. Alright, so I get the little sticker placed down there, and I add my Spectrum Noir glimmer pen over top of that, just so I can have it in two places, that teal-y colored heart that's going to be at the top, and also that teal-y colored banner that's at the bottom that I just did. Okay. And I'm going to trim off the very end of this tag, and I trim it off crooked, but I don't care because the crooked part is going to tuck under that blue. I just felt like it needed another little oomph right there because there was so much oomph on the bottom. And then I finally pull out a little pink ticket tag because I feel like we need a little bit more color up there at the top. I'm getting too dull, it seems like, and this is a pretty bright page, so I add the pink, and then I discover that there's no yellow up there except for one little line, so I pop that little heart up there. So now I'm pulling off the Jelly Bean Soup letter stickers, and I love this font of letter sticker. The only thing is you kind of have to turn it to see the letters because they blend in so well. And then again, I pull out that happy because I'm like, ugh. And then finally I'm just like, whatever, it's not going to work. I don't know why I keep trying. And I wasn't going to put that eye, the little dot on top of the eye, but I don't know. I decided to do it anyway. And I feel like the word pizza is just kind of blending into the background a little bit. So I wasn't sure if I was going to get a little bit of paint and slap it on there and then put pizza on top of it. And then I would have to put paint somewhere else on the layout. So I'm thinking about that while I'm messing around with these little bits. I decide not to go with the flower, but I do decide that pizza needs something else. Like pizza, it shouldn't just be pizza. It should be pizza and a heart, because look at that smile on that boy's face. He is so excited, and he wanted to eat that entire pizza by himself, because that's what, how old was he here? 16-year-olds do. They want to eat pizza all by themselves. Anyway, he didn't get to eat the pizza all by himself. He had to share. So I take another one of those label stickers and the green, and I just layer it up. You really can't see a lot of that in the background, but I just want it to be, you know, there. I want that color to be there. So now I decide that I am going to use up all of the pink enamel dots that are on this little card. Couldn't tell you where the enamel dots came from, but I want them gone. So I get them all used up. And then I decide to use some of the little teeny blue guys too. And they are teeny ones, and they are fun. I love putting them like on the edges of hearts and stars. I was going to go ahead and use up all those little yellow ones too, but the yellow was too much of a like a lemony yellow. I find some appropriate of word stickers here, and they are chipboard, so I peel off some of the layers. It's a little bit too thick for my liking, and then I just throw some ATG on the back of them and put them down where I like it. And I'm happy with the placement. I was going to try to put one at the top as well, but I just, like that quick, I knew I didn't like it up there. Like, I didn't even try it out more than like a second before I decided that that wasn't really what I wanted to do. Oh, but I do try to make that arrow work, and it doesn't, but I love the little puffy stickers, and they just add a little bit of extra pizzazz. So I go through, I get the yum one, and I put that by the pizza. And I think that that's great. Like, it's perfect. And I just put that little gray one up there. And I'm looking at it, and I'm like, I got to deal with the pizza. So first I decide to write my journaling. It says something about, I don't know who this Chris person is, but we ate his pizza. And then I talk about how my husband said that this pizza place was really good, and the kids all agreed with him. They ended up eating the whole thing, even though Alex, the son, who's my son, wanted to eat it all on his own. But of course, you know, he didn't get to. Then you're going to see just a few seconds, I'll show you how I outline the word pizza just with a thin pen. And then guys, that's going to wrap up this layout. So thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate you watching the videos, and I really love making them. And I'll be back again tomorrow for another video in the Everyday a Video in July. I think I call it something new every single time I talk about it. So one of these days I'll have some continuity. Thanks for watching. Bye!